In this video, I'm going to show you how to get tailbone pain relief in seconds. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, I'm going to show easy exercises that can give quick coccydynia relief, commonly known as tailbone pain. What usually causes this is because of prolonged sitting and poor posture that builds strain and inflammation in the muscles that help support the sacrum and the coccyx. This includes the glutes and the pelvic floor muscles. This strain builds into tightness, weakness, instability, and pain around the tailbone. So to make getting relief easy, I'm going to break this video up into two separate parts that are going to focus on lengthening and, more importantly, strengthening these muscles. Each exercise works a little bit differently, so to get the best results, go through them all and use what gives you the most relief. As a bonus, all of the exercises can be done at home, require no special equipment, and may give quick coccydynia relief, even within 30 seconds. So with that being said, let's fix that tailbone pain right now for good. So let's start with a soft tissue and muscle release and warm-up exercise. This is really going to help loosen everything up and give some really quick pain relief. To get into position, we can start off lying flat on our back in bed or on a floor. Take a pillow, a rolled up towel, or a couch cushion and put it right underneath your bottom too for extra comfort. I'm going to go over a series of movements. Each one is going to target the muscles just a little bit differently. So let's start with what is known as a sacral roll. What I'd like to do is bend my knees at 90 degrees, take my arms, and just place them off to my side for support. Let's start with our legs together. What you're going to do, just like the name implies, we're going to do a rolling motion, but really focus on moving through your hips, through your waist. Just lower your knees down very, very slowly. As you do this, you're going to feel a lot stretch across the pelvic floor, into the hips right here, and also into the glutes. Really focus on trying to feel it on the outside of the hips around the glutes. Once you feel a deep but comfortable stretch, you want to hold this one right here for about a second or two. You're going to come back up, and then you're just going to repeat it on the other side. When you do this, you might get a clunk or popping sensation too, which is really good because you're putting motion back into those pelvic joints, including the sacroiliac or SI joint. I like to do this one nice and slowly, and also focus on deep breathing, activating pretty much the diaphragm right here. So try to breathe right at the bottom of your rib cage, and then exhale out, because it will just help a lot more with releasing tension across the pelvic floor. 5 to 10 repetitions, but if it feels pretty good, you can repeat it as many times as you like. To take this one to the next level, we're going to focus a little bit more on opening up the groin and also targeting the glutes with what is known as a clamshell. So for this one, I'm going to put my feet together and then slightly take my knees out until I feel a really good stretch on the inner part of my thigh right here, but also on the outside of the hips. Only go to the point where it feels comfortable. If you start to feel discomfort, back off slightly, and then you're going to hold that position, and then you're just going to repeat this. Again, you'll just notice it hits it just a little bit differently. So try to do this one for about 5 repetitions. On the next one, you're just going to open up the knees a little bit more and then repeat. Keep doing this over and over again until you can't open up your knees any further. If you really want to take this one to even the next level, you can start to do a pinpoint massage over achy spots with something round and soft. A tennis ball works perfectly. You can use a lacrosse ball, handball. You could probably even use a round dog toy. So you're just going to take your ball right here and center it over the pinpoint spot that you're having a lot of pain. Like maybe it's right over this spot on my glute. And then you can repeat these exercises very, very slowly. You'll just notice it puts a little bit more pressure over that area. So only go to your comfort level. It should only feel like a good self-massage. The last movement, what we're going to do, is what is known as a figure 4 roll. This one is going to target the glutes a little bit more. It's a very deep stretch, but it's also going to help with piriformis issues. If you're unfamiliar with piriformis syndrome, it's a literal pain in the butt. So for this one, what I'm going to do is take one leg, take that side's ankle, and put it over my other side's knee. So when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. The opening that is created by your legs, you're going to take your hands and go right through that opening and then grab the back of your thigh just like this. Now pull that back leg towards you as much as you can. You're going to feel a deep stretch forming across the pelvis, into the hips, and also that glute. What you want to do is hold this position and then do that rolling motion. As you go towards the other way, this will become an extremely deep stretch, again, only to your comfort level. Hold this for a second or two, and then you're going to rock towards the other way. Nice and slowly for 5 to 10 repetitions. But again, you can throw in as many repetitions as you like. And when you're done on one side, switch to the other to keep everything in balance. So after we have the muscles loosened and warmed up, we're going to move on to the most important part, strengthening exercises. A big cause of coccydynia or tailbone pain is due to muscle weakness that leads to instability across the pelvis and the sacrum. So I'm going to go over a couple different exercises that you can do daily that's going to strengthen both the back and the front. The first one is known as a bridging Kegel. So this one's going to target a lot across the pelvis, including the pelvic floor muscles and the glutes. So for this, what I'm going to do is start lying flat on my back in bed or on a floor. Let's begin with a Kegel, very easy to do. I'm going to tighten my core muscles. It's kind of like taking my belly button towards my spine, and then I'm going to squeeze my glutes to engage those. Then we're going to rock our hips slightly forward like this. It's kind of like tucking our tailbone. In this position, you should already start to feel a lot of muscles starting to fire. We want to hold this, and now we're going to take it to the next level by putting the bridge motion in there. So have your legs roughly about hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. Take your arms, put them off to your side for support, and slowly raise your hips upward towards the ceiling until your body is in a nice straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. If you're unable to get into this position, maybe you can only go up an inch or two because of weakness or just because of pain, do the best you can. Go up as far as you feel comfortable. But over time, you should notice you gain more strength and flexibility to hopefully get into this position. But you want to hold this one for about 5 seconds. You're going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this nice and slowly for about 5 to 10 repetitions. But if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can always throw in another set or two. To take this one to the next level now, we're going to focus a little bit more on the front because it's really important not only to focus on the back but also on the front. We're going to do what is known as a tapping dead bug. This one is really good for the hip flexors and the core muscles. So again, we're going to lie flat on our back, but this time around we're going to have our knees bent roughly at 90 degrees. I'm then going to tighten my core muscles again, squeeze my glutes, but this time around I'm just going to take one foot down and tap it towards the bed or the floor. You're going to feel those core muscles really fire right here to stabilize this movement. So you're going to tap very lightly, come back up, and then you're just going to repeat it on the other side. Just nice and slowly for about 10 to 15 repetitions on both sides. Again, you can throw in as many sets as you like. If you want to make this one more challenging, what you can do as you go down is don't let your foot touch the bed or the floor. Let it hover slightly above and hold this position for about 3 to 5 seconds. Those muscles are really going to start to fire in the core and also across the pelvis. And just try doing that one just nice and slowly for about 10 to 15 repetitions on both sides. Here's another strengthening exercise that you can do right in bed. Just start off lying flat on your stomach. What you want to do first is slowly open your legs up like this, keeping your legs straight and going off to your side until you feel a really deep stretch forming in the pelvis and also off to the hips. Don't go to the point of pain. Stop right before that point. What we're going to do next is now focus on lifting our heels upward towards the ceiling as much as you can. You're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire, including the glutes and the muscles around the sacrum. If that sacrum is locked up, you might get a click, pop, or crack into your sacroiliac joints. You also might feel a clunking motion with your tailbone, which is a good thing. But try to hold this one comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds. You're going to to relax. On the next repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. I like to do this one for about 5 to 10 repetitions, but if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, you can always throw in another set or two. If you want to take this one to the next level, what you do is focus a little bit more on different motions with your legs. This will target the glutes just a little bit more. So turn your feet inward like this and then repeat. Again, you'll just notice it hits it a little bit differently. Give that one a try. You can also take your toes outward as much as you can and then lift up. If any of them feel like it's addressing more weakness or tightness, at that point, focus on it and throw more repetitions in. This next strengthening exercise is great because it's pretty much going to target all of the muscles associated with coccydynia or tailbone pain. To do this exercise, we can use a couple different things. I'm going to be using a 24-inch high-density foam roller. I think it just works best. If you would like to get one online, I will leave a link in this video's comments section and description. But if you don't have one, no big deal. You can also roll up several large bath towels into a roll or use a pillow. Position whatever you're using right over your bottom, right across the sacrum. We're then going to lie flat on our back next to a wall or a door, knees bent roughly at 90 degrees. Press your feet into the door. Take your arms off to your side like this for support. The first movement, we're going to target a little bit more across the pelvic floor. So I'm going to start off by tightening my core muscles. That's like taking my belly button towards my spine, and then we want to squeeze the glutes. From there, what I'm going to do is a light rocking motion with my hips. I'm going to tuck my tailbone as much as I can, and then I'm going to relax, going in the opposite direction. What this is going to do is engage those pelvic floor muscles, but the foam roller right here is also going to help massage across the sacrum and the pelvis. It usually feels really, really good. I like to do this one nice and slowly for about 10 to 15 repetitions, but if it feels good, you can throw in as many repetitions as you like. To take this one to the next level, what I'm going to do now is a crawling motion up the wall to really engage those muscles, including the glutes. So for this one, let's let's tighten our core muscles again, squeeze our glutes, but put all of your body weight and press them into your heels into the door. And now what you want to do is slowly walk up the door just like this. Go up as far as you can. You're going to feel a lot of muscles engage. When you can't go any further, just come back down just like this very, very slowly until your bottom is then again resting over that foam roller. Take a breather, reposition the foam roller if you need to, but just do this one nice and slowly for about 5 complete repetitions. If the exercises helped, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.